Hi guys, Miss Owens here. Today we're going to extend our practice of what we did last week, working with this new tool known as the passive voice. And with this assignment, I've also included that passive notes roundup that I gave you guys for your work last Wednesday. People mentioned that that was pretty helpful, so I'm going to include that here. Make sure that you have the notes in some way that works for you, though, okay? I'm not going to go through and explain it all. All these slides are pretty well labeled. If it's the imperfect, you see the imperfect endings there. If it's the future, you see the future endings, and the translations are on separate slides as well. So make sure you use that. Your work today is in a Google form. The first thing I really want you to know is that I set this to auto grade. Sometimes with auto grade, you can get kind of frustrated because if you like accidentally put a space bar in before you put your answer in, it's going to count it as wrong. I want you to be rest assured that I am looking at these individually and I am grading them. I set it to the auto grade just so you could see what kind of mistakes you might be making over and over again if you aren't using the right principal part or if you're forgetting the ending set, okay? Um, but yeah, don't stress about it. I am looking at it. I am the human being behind this Google form and I will look at it, okay? All right. The way that this works is that you are going to take some active verb forms that I've written out for you, and you're going to make them passive. The first few are in multiple choice format, so you have kind of a limited number of options, and the later ones are fill in the blank. It's those fill in the blank ones that, again, don't stress if it counts it as wrong, but you just had a capital letter at the beginning, so it's spelled correctly, it should be correct, but it's going to go ahead and count it wrong because you capitalized something. Don't stress about it. I'm looking at it. All right, I'm going to do the first two with you right here. So you can see what's up. In the parentheses there, I have a verb that's in the active voice. The one I have here is trahebam, and its translation, which means I was dragging. It has the BA back in the day, a tense marker that shows me it's imperfect, and that M ending, which shows me that I am the subject. So put those together. I was blanky D. And you do not need to know what these words mean. It's all going to be very obvious. I'm not expecting that from you. So in terms of like the root meaning of the word, traho trahere means to drag. That is going to be clearly marked here in your options, okay? The first of each pair of questions asks you to give me the passive form of the word I've written. The word I've written is trahebam. You want to keep the same tense. You want to keep the same person and number. You just want to take it from the active to the passive. The correct answer for this one is, on mine, it shows as the second one. Yours might be jumbled up a little bit, but trahebar. Trahebar. That BA is necessary because there's a BA in the original word. That's what makes it imperfect. And the M ending that we're used to for our active voice, remember MST or MOST, mus, tis, inti, that corresponds to our new endings are, ris, ter, mer, many, inter. And again, if you can't list those off the top of your head, just like I can, you can have your notes right in front of you, okay? Put it on just a different tab and click back and forth. I do expect you to know O or M, S, T, mus, tis, inti. That's old news. I really do expect you to have that in your head. And next year, whoever you have for your next Latin class will also expect you to have that in your head. So go ahead. It's only 6 forms. You can do it. O or M, S, T, mus, tis, inti. So again, for the first question, the answer is tra he bar. I've taken the I was dragging form and made it passive, tra he bar. All right, the second one of each of these pairs of questions is going to ask you to change the English from active to passive. Write the new passive translation. Make sure you're noticing which one you're on here. The second half of what's in the parentheses is going to be your guide. I was dragging. Your guide for the passive voice here, now, and forever is use the helpful English words be, being, or been to make something sound passive. You still want to keep the same subject. You still want to keep the same tense. You are just changing the voice. You're just adding the word that sounds appropriate, be, being, or been. The correct answer for the second question is I was being dragged. I was being dragged. The I was dragging is wrong. It doesn't have be, being, or been in it. I will be dragged. That is a passive form, but it's future. And this is was or were. It's in the past. So that can't be right. The next one says he, she, it drag, which honestly, that's on me. It should say drags, right? But it's obviously not the correct answer. It's got the wrong person and number. So the last one here, I was being dragged, is the only possibility. It's got the same person. It's got the same tense. It just needs to change from active to passive. All right, let's take a look at maybe the next one, okay? If you feel like, oh, I get this, this is easy, feel free to close the video. I'm just going to do one more example, okay? The next one is agitis. That tis ending, remember O or M, ST, most tis nt means I, you, he, she, it, we, y'all, they. So tis is y'all. And this word, again, you don't need to know what it means. It means to drive. Y'all drive. If I want you to make this into the passive form, you're going to find the equivalent for tis. Tis on your chart. Let's take a close-up look at it so you can follow me here. Our active forms are O or M, ST, mus, tis, nt. Tis is right here. It's the second person plural. So where you have a tis in this word, you're going to take that ending off, and you're going to add many instead. So the correct answer here is the first one on the list, agi-mini. Again, it's the first one on mine. It's going to be jumbled up for you, so it might not be the very first one. But the correct answer, agimini. Make sure that the vowel stays the same, the stem of the word stays the same. There's no change there, just the ending changes. All right, and the translation for that, mini, right, is the second person plural, as we just discussed. So that's still y'all. You're not changing the person, you're changing the voice. So you want to add be, being, or been to what here says y'all drive. The correct answer is y'all are being driven. It's a present tense verb, so it's happening right now. Y'all are being driven to school. Y'all are being driven to the store. It's happening right now. You're just adding be, being, or been. Okay? All right. I'm going to hope that this was an explanation that benefited you. If you still have some questions, you know that my office hours are every day from 9 to 10 a.m., and I'm really responsive through email throughout the day. So please ask a question if you got it. Also, get outside and get some sunshine. It's going to be a really nice week.